team. Welcome. This is your next. This is going to be your next 20-minute offline course. But first, a couple of things I just wanted to mention. With regard to solo drilling, there definitely is a need for solo drilling. Life can get a little bit complicated. Quite often throughout your jiu-jitsu journey, you may get injuries, you may be away, but please don't let that discourage you from your own training. By solo drilling, you can actually get better at jiu-jitsu. Okay, and throughout these drills, I want you to picture yourself or visualize yourself with a training partner. Okay, so much like you have the best boxers that are in the world, they all shadow box, and they're absolutely beautiful at shadow boxing. That's just what we need to be when we start to do our visualizing with regard to our solo drilling. Okay, so quickly, I just want to have a look at the first one, which is our bridging. Sounds simple. It is, it's super important, okay? We're going to change our mindset a little bit from bridging, from turning our back into this big arch, where we're going to go away from that a little bit to putting more pressure and more torque through our hips, okay? So, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, the first technique, I'll be here on my back, good. My arms always in front. I never want to see anybody with their arms out like this. Whenever you're underneath, you always have your hands in front, protect yourself and your knees up. Okay, from here I'm going to visualize that my opponent is on the mount position. Now I've got to try and escape this. So I have my feet relatively close to my butt. The closer the feet are to my butt, the more power and torque I can put through my hips. If my feet are far away from my butt, I don't get that torque. So bring your heels quite close to your butt. Good, heels are quite close. One leg is pointing off in this direction. Previously, when we were doing our bridging, we bridged so hard and so high, you can see there's a bit of an arch in my back. We're going to change that thought process a little bit. From here, we're going to just put a lot of torque through our hips. I bridge, and I need to look in the direction that I'm going. So I'm here, I look, okay? What? And we're here. We come back to our knees, okay? We don't want to come back down to our stomach. So I'll show you again. Here, good. Hips up a little bit, a lot of torque. Look in the direction that you're going, okay? And I want you to come to your knees. Here, okay? So, we're going to do this for 20 seconds. Ready? Go. 1. 2. 3. 4. Nice. Good. Okay. So, what I want us to just double check what we're doing, making sure you're coming to your knees. So you're here, you come to your knees. I don't want to see anybody doing this here and going, okay? No, you must come to your knees and bring your knees underneath you. Okay, so the next one, the next bridging move is going to be quite similar, but we're going to visualize that our opponent has passed our guard. And we're going to turn away from them to do an escape, okay? It's okay to turn away from your opponent if the technique is on point. This is not our first and foremost escape from side control. Ideally, we want to turn into our opponent, maybe even go belly down and back out to our knees. But if that's not possible because of the pressure that they may have on you, there's always the option of getting to your side and rolling away. But the number one thing you need to be mindful of when you turn to your side is that your back is going to be exposed, okay? As is your neck to some degree. So, let's have a little think about this. Next technique. I pretend that I visualize that my opponent has passed my guard. I can't turn in, I can't push in, I can't do the belly down, back escape out to the knees. I can't do that, that's not possible. So the only thing I have is to turn away. When I turn away from my opponent, I want my top shoulder in front of me. My top knee is up and it's connected to my top elbow. This is going to present or help prevent the mount. My top hand is protecting my neck. This is a big one, protecting my neck. Now, most importantly as well, is my bottom hand protects my back. Usually, when people want to take your back, they want to put the near side hook in first. So we can prevent that with the bottom hand. So, I'm here, good. Now from here, bottom leg comes out first. Bottom leg comes out and my hips lift up. And this hand protects from the hook coming in to take my back. Now, just as the previous technique, we look in the direction we're going. Here. And we'll end up facing our opponent. Good. Shoulder in front, protect the neck, elbow, connect the elbow to the inside of the top knee. Good. Bottom hand flat on the mat, bottom foot out, heel pointing to the ceiling, toes into the mat. Now from here, come up and over. One more time and then we'll go through it together. There may be a point where you need to disconnect momentarily your top elbow from your top knee to get the roll away. Here, here, good. At this point, when I go to roll away, it is possible that I may need to put my foot on the mat, which will disconnect my elbow to my knee. I'll need to do that to put torque through my hips. Here, here, here. Okay, are you ready? 20 seconds. Here we go. Get onto your side. Ready, go. 1. Good. Let's go. 2. 3. 4. Last one. 5. Good. Nice work. Okay, next one. Next one, we're going to have a look at top control drill. Okay, so juniors, kids and juniors, this is a great one for you. You'll have your homemade training dummy, or a brother or sister, mum or dad. Cross body side control we start. Okay, so this is for your top control drill, and this is in your syllabus. Adults, if you prefer to do this one, do this one. Cross body side control. Look, when I'm cross body side control, my elbow is on the far side of my opponent's head and my elbow is on the mat. My near side hand is blocking their hip and I have my knee wedged into their hip as well. And now from here, I have downward pressure. Make sure that there is no distance between your chest and your opponent's chest. Here, here. And you're tight here, okay? Good. Now we start to come around. Make sure your chest stays connected. Come here. You can do a little pit stop here. Put your elbows inside the armpits, it's fine. Continue to come around. Good. Now I've come around and I'm in a mirror position, but on the opposite side. My job now is to go to mount safely. So a couple of key things when we go to mount safely, you need to clear the near side elbow from your opponent. So I switch my hips here, and I put my my knee into my opponent's hip, and I move my hips back, which will end up clearing my opponent's hip. Make sure you're not looking up. Make sure you always keep your head over your opponent. Then from here, visualize their knee is up, protecting them from mount. You're going to grab the outside of the far knee, and you're going to pull it over towards you as much as possible, which will create a nice big window for you to safely step over to the mount position. When you step over to mount, I want it done with authority. Pull the knee, step. Then you'll come back to this mounted position. Good. When you're here in mount, you've got to dismount correctly. So I need to end up on the same side I started, which was on this side. So my left elbow will swim all the way around the outside of my opponent's head. I'm looking down. I stretch my left leg and come down into my hip. Now I back step. When I back step, I don't do a little step like this. I need to create a big window, look. Once I do that, my hand comes down on the mat next to the hip. I'm still looking down. Now I switch my base. Good. And that's where we finish, okay? So I'll show you one more time. Top control drill. Juniors, kids, adults, you can all do this one. Cross body side control, here, here. Good. Good, maintain pressure, come around. Boom, come around. Switch, clear the near side elbow. Pull the outside far knee all the way over towards you. Step. Swim your hand around. Stretch your leg. Back step. Okay, let's do that one for 20 seconds. We'll do this one for 20 seconds, okay? Good. If you can only get one done in 20 seconds, that's okay. Ready? Go. Okay. Now, an advanced one. The advanced one. I feel like I'm heating up in here. The advanced one is a little bit tricky. So, juniors and kids and juniors, I prefer you to just stick with that one. Adults, if you feel confident enough to try this, please do it. So, often when you pass somebody's guard, they're going to turn in towards you. They usually turn in towards you like this to start their guard recovery. Whenever they do that, their back is exposed on the other side. So we want to try and transition around to the side of their back. So what I'm going to do is I pretend my opponent has turned towards me. Okay? From here, I'm in a cross-body side control. They've turned towards me to escape or to recover the guard. I step up. My elbow comes down. I aim to put my elbow on the knot of my opponent's belt at the same time as my knee comes down to the mat. So I'm here. Good. And then you pretend that your opponent turns back in towards you. So here, step. Make sure you don't make the mistake of looking up. Always look down. Step. As my knee comes down, my elbow comes around. Look. If I look up like this, it's very easy for my opponent to put their hand in my collar and sit up and push me over, and then I'll end up on my back. Always maintain downward pressure. Okay, ready? Here we go. 20 seconds. And go. 1. Switch. Step. 2. Switch. Step. Elbow down. Switch. Step up. Nice. Well done. Well done. That one's a little bit tricky, so see how you go with that one, okay? If you find that one a little bit difficult, then just stick with the basic top control drill. Next one, technical stand-up. Now, technical stand-up is super important, okay? If you get pushed over and you need to get back up safely, you're going to need to know this. Sport jiu-jitsu, you'll need to know it. Self-defense jiu-jitsu, you'll need to know it. It's all the same. So, I'm here. Now, I pretend that an attacker or somebody's pushed me over, or sporting jiu-jitsu, I'm at a competition, I end up in this position here. Good. I want to stand back up, but I don't want to stand up with my chest square to my opponent like this. It'll be easy for my opponent to simply push me back down. So I'm here. I make sure I turn my shoulders off like this. And my hand is up, okay? This hand is up here to protect you from your opponent, your attacker coming in to close that distance. This is going to help you maintain some distance. Your hand is behind you. My right hand's behind me. My right leg is straight. My left foot is close to my butt, okay? And I'm going to push off this foot on my bent leg to lift my hips in the air, like so, okay? So when I do this, the higher I can get my hips up in the air, the easier it's going to be for me to coil my leg back behind me, like this. Yeah, okay? Now, sometimes, especially when you're starting out in jiu-jitsu, sometimes you may struggle a little bit getting up like that. And that's probably to do with you not being able to get your hips high enough off the ground. So here, some of you will go like this. Okay? I want you to do the best you can to get your hips up in the air. So I'm here. Good. Up. You can even practice this. Here, here. Up, hold, down. Up, hold, down. And on the third, you can come all the way up. Okay? Now, let's just go through that 20 seconds, okay? 20 seconds. Are you ready? I feel like I look like a beetroot. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to keep your arm in front. 5, 6. Nice. Well done. All right, team. That'll do it for today. There was another move, but I can't read my own writing. So you're in luck today. Okay? Enjoy, spend time on those techniques. Remember, you 100% can get better at jiu-jitsu just through solo drilling. Take some time. Enjoy the time off. I look forward to seeing you soon.